Having watched South Africa lose their first 3 matches, and obviously you guys had a great start, how confident are you feeling playing a team that is quite down?
Well, we're obviously confident, but we have to respect South Africa as well. Obviously, they're a good side. They've lost 3 games, but we know that they've got world-class players, so we really can't underestimate their ability, and we've just got to go out and play hard and smart cricket and stick to our game plans.
At the moment, although you guys lost the last game, you guys look like you're enjoying your cricket at the moment. It's the side that's really happy to be around. And is that the camp, the overriding feeling in the West Indies camp at the moment?
Well, that's what we're trying to get over the players. Whatever you do, you must try and enjoy it. It's very important. You had a World Cup. It will be the last World Cup for a number of players. So you just got to go out and enjoy your cricket and let the process take care of itself, and just think team in whatever we do and try and do our best. And we're not going to pressure them whether we win or lose. We're just going to make sure that we keep following the process and we keep doing the right things.
Obviously, last week the story broke about AB de Villiers making himself available for the tournament. How much of a distraction do you think that'll be for South Africa, and what does your camp make of the story?
Well, our camp haven't been talking about it at all. We can't control what happens in South African cricket. We can only control what happens in West Indies cricket. So we're not focusing on the AB de Villiers issue at all. We've just got to go and play. There are a number of world-class players, Hashim Amla, Rabada, the captain, Fafa as well. We've got to focus on them. We can't focus on people who are not here.
Rod, your bowlers have obviously done a great job up front in both your games so far. Is it a little bit concerning, though, the way the second half of the innings went against Australia? And in what areas do you think the guys can improve to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, before the start of the tournament, everybody was saying that teams are going to make 360, 380. Some teams will make 400. Some teams are making 500. We've both teams out for under 300 runs. So we're very happy where the bowlers have executed. What we must do is play the 1%ers a bit better, and I'm sure if we did that in the last game, we would have won the game. It's nothing to do with the bowlers. We're all in it together. We're not going to single out the bowlers and say that the bowlers did a poor job or the batsmen did a poor job. It's a team. If you're looking for excuses in a cricket game, you can find it wherever you look.
South Africa and West Indies haven't played each other too much between the World Cup and now. Just 3 games is what the records say. The West Indian team is completely different to what it was, say, 4 years ago. What is your assessment of how the fast bowlers have gone? There's a great excitement around the fact that West Indies has this pack of fast bowlers of real quality again. What is your assessment of how they've gone, and how do you see their role in the rest of the matches that you have in the World Cup?
Well, what's exciting about it that we're playing our way. We're not looking at the other teams. We're playing what works for us. We're playing a West Indian way. We're playing a brand of aggressive cricket and a smile on our face. And if that will take us to the success that we're looking at, then that's very, very important. We can't focus on what the other teams are doing. We can only focus on what we're doing, and we've got to just do it well.
Roddy, Andre Russell obviously looks like he's been carrying an injury. Didn't see much of him training today. Is everything all right with him for tomorrow?
Andre will be fine. Andre is a warrior. He's a soldier. He's a strong man mentally, you know, and he'll be up for the game. He's been really, really good for us. You know, when we sat down and had our plans, we didn't expect him to bowl as much as he's been doing, but he's been absolutely brilliant. So no problems at all with Andre.
A lot of people are comparing the fast bowling group with the great teams of the 70s and 80s. They're starting to get a bit of a vibe about it. Do the bowling group sort of embrace that, and does it help with their confidence, or do they kind of try to ignore it a bit?
Well, we can't keep looking back. We've got to respect the past. You know, our great bowlers of the past. Obviously, they're very important in our history. But what we've got to do, this group of bowlers now, they've got to find their own identity. They've got to find their own way. They can speak to all the great ex-fast bowlers. I saw a few of them talking to Ian Bishop earlier, and I'm sure when Joe Garner and Michael Holden is in town as well, they'll be speaking to them. Every West Indian is in this. This is big for the Caribbean people, And one thing that we've been stressing, go out and put a smile on people's face in the Caribbean. Obviously, economically we are struggling a little bit, but so we want people to wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock with a smile on the face, seeing West Indians playing good cricket. And it also helped the people in London as well, you know, who've had so much pressure cricket-wise in the last 10, 15 years. And if we can put a smile on an all black people's face, then we'll be very, very happy.
The Otis Gibson was obviously coach of the West Indies. He knows a lot of the guys. Do you guys speak about that? The fact that he knows a lot of the boys.
Well, Otis is a West Indian and he's a Barbadian first and foremost. He's a professional. He's a professional coach, and wherever his profession takes him, he has to go out and do his best. We'll see tomorrow, and we'll have a hug and a chat, and after the game we'll have a drink. And at the end of the day, it's cricket. It's a game of cricket. Everybody wants to win. You play it hard, you play it fair, and you enjoy what you're doing. And once you do that, you're on the right track.
Well, Roddy, you spoke about how despite what South Africa is going through, you still must respect your opponent. Is there any specific parts of their game now that you guys will go in targeting or that you're especially wary of?
We've got to target 100 overs. We've got to, at the end of the 100 overs, we've got to make sure that we on the winning side. We just can't single out one part of the game, because once you do that and that part of the game has any resistance, then your game plan falls down. We've got a plan for 100 overs, and we've got to go and execute. There's areas that we can still improve. We're looking better, but we can still improve. We can cut on the extras. There were one or two areas that we can cut on. We've missed a few chances as well. So those are areas that we can back up on. We're more focusing on ourselves, and if we can execute our skills well, then it will take care of the process.
Against Australia, the aggressive short ball worked really well up front, but then when the ball got a little older, some of those bounces weren't kind of getting around the throat. They were kind of a bit easier to put away. Do you think you guys stuck with the bouncer too long, and is that something that you're looking at addressing coming to this game?
At the start of the game, and I asked you a question, if we said we would give Australia 288 and we didn't have to bowl, we would have taken it. We're nitpicking and looking for excuses. We didn't play the small moments well. It's nothing to do with the bowling at all. If you can restrict Australia to 288, like I said before, every team in this competition was gearing the game on scoring at 6 runs and over for the first 30, and then the last 20 trying to score 8 runs and over and try and get up to 160. And we restrict Australia for 288, and we're looking for all the excuses in the world. It's nothing to do with the bowling at all. I thought the bowlers did a wonderful job. Cricket is about partnerships, and you will have resistance. Simple as that.
It didn't look like Chris Gale took much part in training either. I think we saw him having a massage at one point as well. Is he fit for tomorrow, and is it a case of managing the likes of him and Andre Russell?
We have to manage all the players. It's a very, very long tournament. Remember, it's 9 games spread over a 6 weeks period, and the games are coming thick and fast. So you really got to manage everybody. The bowlers had a very light bowl today, 18 balls. So it's all about managing. If you manage the players, you got to keep them fit and ready for the game. You're not going to achieve a lot now going into the next session. The thing about it is that your body and your mind is strong and you're ready to execute. So Chris is Chris. He's got years of experience. He will know what he needs to do to come out tomorrow and execute.
Rod, just your thoughts on Otis has spoken quite openly about the South African approach and their bowling attack. Now the experience of Dale Steyn gone away and Lungi Ngidi picked up an injury, Rabada's going to have to lead this pace attack. Just your thoughts on Kagiso Rabada and just the responsibility on his shoulders and his skill set and what he brings.
Well, Rabada was #1 bowler now for the last 2 years. But the great Bob Marley said, when one door is closed, another is open. I don't go and look and see who's not playing and who's injured and all that, because that's how cricket is. People get opportunities in strange ways. So Dale Steyn might be injured, but one of the others might come through. And that's the reality of the game. The key thing is when you get the opportunity, you've got to grab it. Whether you're playing for West Indies, England, Australia, it doesn't matter. You know, so we're not going to worry about who's playing for South Africa. They're the best cricketers in South Africa. That's why they're here. And we've got to respect them, but we mustn't fear them.
Roddy, West Indies went, they got a few tough decisions from the umpires the last game. Have the guys gotten over that going into tomorrow's game?
If you could bring it back first, then I want to know, because I will go and take a bet on the lottery and win £1 million or whatever. It's history. We can't do anything about it. You can't keep looking back. If you keep looking back, then you've got major problems. We've now got to look forward. We've got a game coming up against South Africa, and that's where our energy and focus should be. Not on the past, because past is history. Can't come back.
Rod, it seems the best case scenario in terms of whether tomorrow is a game that's maybe sort of on and off quite a bit. Does that change your plans in any way?
For someone who played cricket in England for 20 years, I never worry about the weather. That's out of our control. If you sit down and worry about the weather, you make bad decisions, you make rash decisions. Or what we can do is when the situation confronts us, we put our heads together and we come up with a game plan that will help us to keep on track. But we can't spend our time thinking, will it rain, will it not rain? Are we going to be up with Duckworth and Lewis? And you do that and then it doesn't rain, and you lost a few wickets trying to chase down and get ahead of the Duckworth Lewis. So we've just got to go on the day, see what happens, and assess over by over and see what the outcome is.
Okay, Roddy, thanks very much. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us.
And thank you for having me.